Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video we're taking a look at a very cool keyboard from Machenike. This is the K500F-B81. This is a 75% TKL keyboard with 81 keys and also some cool rotary knobs on it. This has been sent over to us free of charge for review purposes by our good friends over at WhatGeek.com in order for us to help them to celebrate their anniversary of their website. Also, there will be some links in the video description in order for you to pick up some fantastic deals from the day of release and also going further into September and potentially into the beginning of October. But don't worry if you miss out on any of these deals and you're watching this a little bit later. WhatGeek.com have always got some really great offers on. Just head over to their website and click on some of the links. Generally, there will be some absolutely spectacular deals. And in fact, some of the prices are actually cheaper than you can find at AliExpress. So do bear that in mind when you're shopping for your next keyboard. Speaking of which, let's take a good look at this one and see what it's all about. So first of all, let's take a look at the keyboard. Now, as you've possibly guessed already, this is a clear keyboard, or transparent, or however you want to look at it. So this is part of a range of 4 different versions that come in 4 different colors, all of which have a kind of clear tint to them. So you get the clear, this is clear white, you also get a clear black, a clear purple, and a clear green, all of which are available in various different options for RGB. So you can have the RGB version, like we've got here, or you can get one with just white lighting. The choice is entirely up to you, and obviously the prices do change. So again, I would strongly suggest heading over to the links in the video description to check out the very latest pricing and the pricing for your specific model that you like. So not only does this unit have a transparent or clear chassis and top deck, and even the back, you've also got clear switches as well. So these are using GR switches. So we've got GR Ice and also GR Crystal switches. So the crystal ones are tactile, so there's a little bit of a bump there. And if you go for the Ice versions, those are linear, so there's no bump at all, and they're very smooth, travel very nicely. Both of them have got a actuation force of 40 G, but the bottoming out force is between 50 and 60, depending on the version you get. Again, check out the links in the video description and you can find out which switch may be best for you. But having said that, if these switches aren't quite right for you, don't worry. This is fully hot swappable. So if you want to swap out the switches for some other type of switch, you certainly can do. And also the keycaps themselves are obviously removable. So should you wish to change them at any point, which I don't think you will want to, because I think these look absolutely amazing. And bizarrely, they are double shot as well, or at least they appear to be. I have tried to scratch off the legends on the keys and they're sunken beneath the top surface. So if you're looking at this and thinking, well, they're clear and they've got printing on them, surely they're going to rub off easily. They definitely don't. I've taken a knife to it and they will not come off. So don't worry about that at all. The key switches themselves is a brand I've not heard of before. So the GR brand I've not come across before, but they do feel very nice in use and they are rated for up to 50 million keystrokes per switch. Another very cool feature, which I like a lot and I do use on a very regular basis, basically all the time, is one of these rotary volume knobs on the top. Now these are absolutely fantastic. On this particular keyboard, you can use it for various things, such as controlling volume. So you can use it as a volume up and down, and also if you press the button in, there is a little indentation there, so you can use that to mute your music or whatever it is you're listening to. If you want to use it for changing RGB and you don't want to use software, you don't have to with the Machenike keyboards. You can just press and hold this for about 3 seconds. It'll flash a different color, and then you can use the wheel to go through the brightness levels of the keyboard, which is excellent. And you can also choose your RGB lighting from just pressing the function key and the enter key, or function and insert key. You can go through all types of lighting styles, which we'll check out a little bit later on. As you'd expect from a modern keyboard, it's using a USB Type-C connection. This particular one is a wired one, so no wireless on this one, although there are options for wireless should you want them. Again, head over to WhatGeek.com and you can find out more. On the back of the keyboard, it gives you some idea of what is going on with this. So this keyboard is actually sandwiched between loads of silicon layers. So you can see there's a massive silicon base plate there. This is designed to make the keyboard really nice, soft and supple and give it a somewhat cushioned effect when you're typing. You can also see we've got rubberized pads in all 4 corners, so if you're having it in the flat mode, it's absolutely fine and doesn't want to wiggle around on your desk, which I like a lot. Also, you have varying degrees of adjustment in terms of angle, so you can flip up the little feet. Again, these have the little pads on, so they're not going to skate around. Or if you want a little bit more of an angle, you can do the feet up fully and have it on a much higher angle. Again, choice is down to you. Looking from the back there, you can see some of the level of the silicon, so for dampening, etc. So you've got the PCB running through the middle, so you've got a silicon top deck, then you've got the actual circuit board itself, then you've got more layers of protection underneath. So it does have it really nicely sandwiched, and it isn't springy, but it does have a very soft touch to it, which I like a lot. Before we get into taking a look at the lighting, let's take a look at what is included in terms of accessories. So first of all, you get a user manual, which is actually quite handy and tells you what everything does, how to connect it up in various languages, talks about the layout and what some of the function keys will do. Might be handy to have this around a little bit when you first get your keyboard, just so you get used to all the function keys and what they can and can't do. Next up, you get some usual suspects. So you get a keycap puller. There's also a switch puller as well. So like I said, these are hot swappable. So if you want to swap them out, you certainly can do. And should you need to, if any of the switches get broken or damaged, they do include 2 spare switches in the box. So you can just put those in. You can see there, they're really nice. They have an opaque bottom section and a clear top, showing you all the switches and the springs inside. And they've got a really nice action to them. Yeah, I do like these a lot. And last of all, you get the USB connection cable. This one has a right angle on the end, which I think is quite useful because it plugs in on the side, so you can have your cable angled away from you to keep things nice and tidy on your desk. Cable length, 1.8 meters. So let's get this thing powered up and we'll take a look and see what it's like. I'm using just one of my own cables here. You can obviously use whatever's included, just plugs it in on the side there. And when you plug it in for the first time, you get the nice lighting effect on there, which is very cool. It's very difficult to get this to look good on camera. It looks absolutely stunning in real life, but because of the way the camera works, I'll try and get some close-ups so you can see this in its full glory, but it does look absolutely fantastic. And the fact that it is shine through completely, even though this has north-facing LEDs, which normally would be a little bit more subdued, it actually shines through really nicely because obviously all of it is transparent. Now, if you get the green or the black versions, obviously it will be slightly more muted, but still will look very, very nice in my opinion. So the overall layout of the keyboard, you can get the general idea. This particular version is in the USA layout, so we've got the smaller enter key, etc. Sadly, at the moment, it doesn't appear there is a UK version of this available. So for those of you watching in the UK, you may have to look for another version until one is available. But for those of you that don't mind using the US layout, this is going to be absolutely fine for you. So looking at some of the keys, again, going back to the rotary knob on the top there, you can use that for adjusting brightness, as you can see, or turning it off in its entirety. So it is very, very bright, and we've been filming basically on the lowest setting and it still does pop a great deal. If you want to change this, so you can use this to control the actual volume, just press and hold the button for about 3 seconds and you'll get the keyboard flash blue. Then you can use this to adjust volume, which you can just about see on the screen behind me there. So that is currently adjusting volume as you'd expect, and also the ability to mute or unmute. Going back in, so we'll change that back into the RGB mode, and you see it flashes red rather than blue, so giving you some sort of visual indication of which mode you're actually in. When it comes to actually changing the RGB modes, you can install the Machenike software. That is entirely up to you if you want to do that. There is an absolute ton of flexibility in there should you wish to use it, but you don't have to, which I personally like the option of not having to. So you can just use the function key and the enter key. You can switch through various lighting colors with the enter key, depending on which style you're actually in. If you want to change the style, press the function key and the insert key, and you can go through the various options which are available. So you have like reactive ones, etc, etc. There's probably tons of b-roll of this. I'll very quickly go through some of the options. So you've got like the raindrop effect, which is I feel is actually very, very pretty. I like that a lot. So lots of multi-color options, chase effects, etc. As you'd expect from a modern keyboard, there's a lot of lighting styles available, and you can have reactive, etc. So yeah, depending what works for you, the choice is yours. For me personally, I think some of the more reactive ones might be better, so you can actually see the legend on the keyboard. Although realistically, if you're going for a clear keyboard, my advice is make sure you're someone who is kind of relatively easily able to touch type, because the font, as good as it is, when it's actually lit up, it isn't that legible, so do bear that in mind. So I'll give you a quick example of what the keys actually sound like. Now that is obviously with it being held in air. When it's actually down on a desk, sound profile is a little bit different. But overall, I think this is an absolutely wonderful design. I really do like the fact that it's gone for this transparent look. It's very groovy indeed, and the ability to change the lighting styles. You can have your own custom styles. So if you just want a solid colour, you definitely can do. So we'll go through. Again, there's tons of options. So there is a solid colour. If you want to change that colour, press enter. You can cycle through various options, and you can probably find a keyboard illumination which suits you. There's fades as well, etc. Colour cycles. Again, snakes and raindrops and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, lots and lots to choose from, and actually really easy to do. Just a couple of keystrokes, you can do that. You can change the speed as well using the function and the plus and minus buttons. And yeah, I think overall it's a very, very nice look. For me personally, I struggle to not use a UK layout keyboard, so possibly not a daily driver for me, but I think for a lot of people out there this is going to be absolutely fine, and I'm hoping and praying that they do release a UK layout version of this, of which I would be extremely tempted to pick one up myself, as which you may be also. So don't forget to check out the links in the video description. Again, massive shout out to WhatGeek.com for sending this over for review purposes. Do check out their anniversary deals. You may pick up an absolute bargain. I should mention the price for this at the moment, at the day of recording. So this is September the 11th, 2023. This is currently on sale at WhatGeek.com, the UK site, for £55. Which actually, considering what this is, the weight, the quality of the construction, I didn't mention that actually, the plastics are extremely rigid. It's a really nice design, very well built. You'd think it'd be a cheap plastic, but it certainly is. It's extremely solid. So yeah, an excellent deal. For the money, I don't think you can go too far wrong for what is somewhat of a custom keyboard. But do let me know what you think about this one in the comments section below. And of course, do check out the links. It all goes to help people that help us. And obviously, potentially you can get yourself an absolutely fantastic deal. And like I said, potentially cheaper than you can pick them up on places like AliExpress, which I never expected. So anyway, I think that's going to wrap this one up. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have, smash that like button. If you want to see more content of this on a daily basis, hit the subscribe button and the chime button, and you'll be notified of future video releases. But for now, I've been Mike. This is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.